Hello everybody and welcome back to Cardinal Sins Gaming. Although we are not gaming today, we are doing one of my favorite things to do, which is my yearly recap of what I've read for the year. And though it is not as much as last year, I did not read over 50 books, as you can see there. This year I did not read nearly as much because also some of the books that I were reading were thickums. They were thick-ass books. And frankly, it took me a little while to get through them. Some it was a breeze, some it wasn't. So we're just going to go through the books as I read them. I added the mangas in this year, so you get to see what manga I read. Like I said, didn't read as much. What I read, I think, is good content for the most part. So I'm not 100% sure if we'll have any in the Garbo category. But yeah, let's go down the categories real quick before we start. Top tier is gosh diddly darn it, that's good. As I'm reading the book, I'm like, yeah. And when we get to the end, we just go, That's what gosh diddly darn it, that's good means. Tier right underneath it is satisfied, I guess. Not the best, but not the worst. So mid is just a little bit underneath that. You're like, could have gone either way with this book. Could have not read it, could have, finished it and loved it in a different perspective, maybe. Tier underneath that is not worth it. I didn't want to take the time to read this book. I probably shouldn't have even taken it off the shelves. It's slowly just getting worse and worse. How much time did I really want to spend on this book? Tier right under that, Garbo. Shouldn't have read it, shouldn't have even bought it. The first book I read of the year was The Backyard Bird Chronicles. And that one is it was a great way to kick off the year. So I think she's gonna go and gosh diddly darn that's good, because frankly it was very good. She really captured that whole essence of how people get into birding. It's very snowball effect. So yeah, that one just has to go and gosh diddly darn it's good, as well as it was a great way to start my year reading wise. So the next book that I read, a doozy. Iron Gold. So if you don't know what Iron Gold is, go back to my last year's video and watch the part where I talk about Red Rising. It is the continuation of the Red Rising series. There is a big time jump, I believe, in Iron Gold. These two, Iron Gold and Dark Age, I read back to back. There was a cliffhanger in Iron Gold. I just had to know what happened in Dark Age. That being said, Iron Gold is going to have to go satisfied, I guess, because I had that cliffhanger ending, and I couldn't really go on to read any of the other stuff I had. I had to go to Dark Age, which was a gosh diddly darn good one. Oh my god, that one was heartbreak, action, everything you want in a sci-fi fantasy book, frankly. They're just, hold on, I'll show you. They're thick books. Iron Gold, just under 600 pages. It's 596 pages. But then you get to Dark Ages, even thicker book. This thing's massive. It feels like the Bible. 755 pages. And did I love all 755 pages? Most likely I did. Okay?
So sue me. No, don't sue me. That's the opposite of the point that I am trying to make.
Next. Okay, the next one was Bluebeard's Castle.
Ooh.
Which I genuinely thought was an older book, but it's not. Also, the cover of this one on the inside, scandalocious. Genuinely, it was good, but the character kept making me go, girl, what? Are you under a magic spell? Are you hypnotized? Like, what is going on? Some of the decisions she made in this book were just not good. I had moments where I liked her, but I also had moments where I was like, girl, now you knew that was going to happen. But overall, it was alright. I think she's going to be the first to go in mid-tier, because it wasn't not worth my time, and it wasn't Garbo. Yeah, I wasn't very satisfied. So I can't even put it in the satisfied, I guess. Hence the mid. Next. The Hate You Give. This one was overall a very good book. I can see why they made, was it a movie or a series? I think it was a movie off of the book here. But very prevalent. If you have not read this book, please go read it. But I was very satisfied, so we'll put her in satisfied. No, I guess. Satisfied. Now, I always do it to myself. I always come back to her. Miss Frida McFadden, The Crash. This one was very... I'm just gonna do it. I'm just gonna put it in there. Not worth it. If you've read Frida McFadden, you don't necessarily need to read The Crash. It's very similar to a lot of her books. It did have some aha moments, like, whoa, that's crazy. But overall, it was just a little too out there. Like, I wanted mystery. I wanted, at some point with her, it's either too predictable or too outlandish. So I'd say not worth it. But you know which one was a little bit more worth it from Miss McFadden? The Boyfriend. The Boyfriend, I was actually pretty satisfied, but I wasn't running to tell people about this book. You know what I mean? So, mid, The Near Witch. I really liked this one. I thought it was a nice pace. I liked the characters. I liked the story. I think I was all right with the ending. I wasn't like over the moon or really upset about it. You know, I was just kind of, all right. Very good book. Very well-paced book. That one did not take me very long to read at all, and was interesting enough to keep me reading it quickly. V.E. Schwab's good about that. Okay, next! Harlan Coben, Gone for Good. They did make a Netflix something or other off of this. I did not watch it. After I read something, I don't really need to watch it, unless it's something like these down here, but we'll get to that. Gone for Good. It was good. It wasn't, like, terrible. Once again, I've also read a lot of Harlan Coben, so I kind of know what to expect for his books. That it was reasonable, like, there wasn't too many plot holes, there wasn't too many, like, moments where I was like, no, that couldn't happen. Unlike someone. But yeah, Harlan Coben's kind of like just a good in-betweener for me, so I'm just gonna say mid. I've read so many of his books that it's kind of algorithmic. Almost. I definitely need to take a break from him and McFadden for a little while. Next. One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. I kept walking past it in Barnes & Noble and was like, oh, I really need to read that, because I've also never seen the movie. Another thing about me, I don't watch movies unless, like, my fiance is the main reason I watch a lot of movies. When I was talking to my coworkers about this book, they mentioned the movie, and I was like, well, I've never seen it, so I knew nothing about it going into it. But I did want to show you guys my copy. Yeah, I think somebody had this for school before I did, because I want to say I got it at Half Price Books. You can't really read most of that, but it's literally only for the first couple of pages. Clouds. I can't really see that too much, but here's some clouds. They really marked this book up only for the first 12 pages. This book is crazy. I never realized. I knew some crazy stuff happens, but this book, I know it's fiction, made it feel so real that, like, I was like, good lord, this is nuts. Wow, this one was just a wow. I don't think it'll go in gosh diddly darn, but I will definitely say I was satisfied reading that one, because I wasn't expecting much out of it. I honestly didn't think I was going to like it, because it's one of those books that they tell you to read in school, and I was never the type of guy to read the book when they told you to. You know what I mean? Next book I read was Little Tiny Baby I got this one for getting a drink at Barnes & Noble. I bought it for $5. And let me tell you, worth every penny of it. Good little read. I literally gave it to my coworker because I was like, this was such a good one. Love any books with cats in it. Yeah, it was originally written in 2012. And the translation copy was 2019. If you don't have a lot of time to read, this is one of the ones you might want to pick up. Yeah, the overall read is short. The chapters are a little long, but that's because they take place in like a day. Let's put that... I think I am going to have to go Satisfied, I guess, just because it wasn't... But I was running and telling people about it, so I'm going to put it in Gosh Diddly Darn It, That's Good. If there was a midway tier in between those two, I'd probably put it there. I just was so thrilled when I ended that book that I had to go and give it to somebody else to read. So, like, that's one of, like, my criteria is if I went and told somebody about the book, that's how I know it's good, because I went and told somebody about it. Next, The Witcher, The Last Wish. I did like it, but I was kind of, like, out of the loop. Like, I'd never played the video game. I've never seen the Netflix series. I feel like you need some of that to enter into this world because this is the first book, but they're talking about characters that are like already well established. So I was just a little confused. I'm gonna put it in not worth it just because, one, I didn't pay for it, and two, you need some background, and I didn't have time for the background. Next. In the same vein as Iron Gold, this is a series I've heard about for a while, and I really got excited about. I got really excited about it. Mistborn, holy shit. If you have not read Mistborn and you want to read something fantasy, apocalyptic world, heavy world building, a map in the front of the book, if you know what I mean, this is the series for you. It's a 3-book series, and there is more books in the world, but the main series is the 3. Overall, a great book. The first in the series, Mistborn, really sets it up for a great story. So where I'm gonna put Mistborn is Gosh Diddly Darn It, That's Good. Yeah. The next two, I also want to put them in Gosh Diddly Darn It, That's Good as well, but one of them, I think it was the middle one, the Well of Ascension. So we're gonna put Well of Ascension and Satisfied, and then we're gonna put the Hero of Ages up with Mistborn, because the way that he ended this portion of the series just blew my mind. I would have put them all in Gosh Diddly Darn It, It's Good, but being realistic, there was some flaws in the second one. So, next, Butter. And I mean, come on, look at this book. It's just striking. And frankly, this book was very good, but it did not need to be this big. I don't want to spoil it, but the ending is vague. I can tell you right now, I loved reading this book, but also I was so confused because there were parts of it that I was like, come on, I want to know what happens. But it's left so vague that I couldn't be satisfied. I literally could not. I had to look up a video afterwards explaining it to me, but then I was still at the same conclusion of like, so what? It's almost like I want a sequel, but I don't. You know, like 440 something pages, and I still don't have an answer. Unfortunately, I am gonna have to say, not worth it. Actually, no, you know what? The criteria for Garbo means that I should not have bought it. If I have to look up Butter explained on YouTube, that I probably should not have bought the book. I probably should have just looked up Butter explained on YouTube and not bought the book. Unfortunately, it is gonna have to be Garbo. Because there were parts of this where I was literally thrilled reading, but then there were other parts where I was like, okay girl, come on, get to where we're getting. But like the chapters in this are so fucking long. So long. And what are we really talking about?
Boom. Roasted.
Next. Ooh, yeah, I had to bring this one out because it's so pretty. Look at the sprayed edges. I'm a slut for sprayed edges. I love them. I know that some people think they're tacky. If you think they're tacky, you don't have whimsy. Remarkably Bright Creatures. I loved this book. It was such a pick-me-up after the crash that was Butter. It's a feel-good story about family and an octopus. I'm gonna put it in Satisfied just because I wasn't running and telling anybody about this, because also a lot of people know about this book. Overall, just good feel, good vibes, but I wasn't like, yeah, man, this is the one of the best books of the year. And next was Catabasis. Catabasis, another book that I just had to get because it was so pretty. Look at that. Genuinely may have got this just because it was so pretty, but then I learned to love it. I really learned to love this book. My main worry with that book was because there's a lot of more math smart talk in it that sometimes I couldn't understand, but most times I was like, yeah, I get it. It made me kind of understand that smart academic type thing, honestly. So if you don't think that you're smart enough to read this, you are, because like I said, at some points I did not understand, but there were other points where it made me understand, and I was like, yeah, it made my mind work, and I love books like that make me think. So it's definitely going in. Gosh diddly darn it, that was good. All right, after that, I read The Silver Eyes, which always leaves me satisfied. They always leave me satisfied. In the same vein, I read the novel for Silver Eyes, but I also read the graphic novels for the other two. So Twisted Ones is the next. Yeah, I'm gonna go in mid for both of them, just because personally I was just reading them for nostalgia because it was around Halloween time, so kind of getting me into the FNAF mood, because I also did a bunch of FNAF videos. Yeah, FNAF everything, FNAF everywhere, October, So we'll just put them there. I love the graphic novels. If you have not looked at any of the illustrations, they're awesome. After that, I read... so we've only got the mangas left. I started with the Naruto Omnibus, which is 3-in-1, because they just give me a lot of nostalgia. 1, I love nostalgia. And 2, I used to read these as a kid. I'd go and get them from my local library, 3 at a time. Whenever I was finished, I'd go back to the library and get the next 3. It was a whole thing. Like, that's basically what I did for a whole summer. So, hence why I have a lot of nostalgia for them. I just love Naruto. The next 3, and I'm also gonna put them there.
Believe it!
Ocarina of Time. I'm not gonna lie. Was mid. It was kind of mid.
Now come on now.
I love the illustration. In my opinion, they're just not as epic as the games. The mangas just aren't as epic as the games, but if you wanted, like, the story, the games, these are good. It's more of a collection thing to have for me. And then after that, Majora's Mask and Link to the Past. Once again, it was just mid. Like I said, I got them more for collection value than anything. I love the illustrations and I love all that, but I would probably rather just watch a video story or timeline or play the games. Boom, she's going there. So these next 4 are obviously all a series. The first one I got just to test out, and at the time, to me, it was not worth it.
This guy stinks!
But then I decided, hey, I'll give it a shot, and they slowly started to get better. And by the 4th, I'm fully invested and I want to get the next one. So that's like a very accurate representation how I felt reading these. And I did actually start watching the series. I watched it all the way through because it doesn't really get farther, maybe through 5 and 6, and that's kind of where they're done putting it out, at least for now. Like, I think it's still in production and it's like gonna have another season or whatever. After the second one, I was like, okay, let me watch the episodes that like correspond with the books. It's a very good series, and at first I thought it was just like a knockoff version of Sword Art Online. It is not. It had me fooled, and it just gets better, honestly. So if you give it a chance, it does get better. If there's anything that was on your 2025 red list that you'd like for me to read next year, let me know. Thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it. This is one of my favorite videos to make, and I'm so happy to make them. I wish I read faster so that I could make more every year, but this year, you know, it just didn't happen. So if you aren't already, please leave a like and subscribe. If you haven't already, go ahead and press that notification bell to be notified whenever I post. I'm sorry for not posting recently. I'm trying to get my act together here. The goal for 2026 is to stream more, as well as be a little bit more consistent with my videos. If you guys will bear with me, I will be doing it. You know, I'll be doing the damn thing. So thank you for being here with me, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!